The NFL draft is done and over, and I am going to be breaking down each and every team and grading out their draft. So check back every day, because one team I will do every single day, and I'll have it up here on YouTube for you to watch. We'll go over every prospect that they drafted, as well as some key undrafted free agents that they may bring in. So if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments section, and I'll be sure to address them for you. Also, just be aware on my draft grades, no one fails the draft, especially right after it. Even no one in this draft is going to get a D or an F from me, because everyone had a talent. Everyone did something. So if you think the grades are a little bit high, that's just me not going to too much extremes. And maybe in 3 or 4 years, when we look back on this draft, then we can see who really succeeded and who really failed. So sit back, relax, enjoy me as I break down every single team this year. The draft expert, Shane Hallam, shows off his knowledge. Writing mock drafts, prospects from the best college. Breaking down tape, he might develop a man crush. Tearing up guys, taking questions in a rush. Comparisons, learning lessons, Shane saves the day, oy vey. Hulk or Banner, doesn't matter. Listen, cause here's who can play. Today we're going to be going over the Detroit Lions, and the Detroit Lions were wheeling and dealing in this draft. They traded a couple picks for some players, like Shaun Hill, quarterback from San Francisco, Rob Sims, offensive guard from Seattle. But they also made some very good draft picks. Starting out, the very top at number 2, they got the best player in this draft, and that's Ndamukong Suh, defensive tackle out of Nebraska. Now look, Ndamukong Suh is a very, very good player. Everyone in the country knows that saw him play against Texas and Colt McCoy. He single-handedly carried Nebraska to great, great places. You know, I think without him, they would have lost an extra couple games. So you really have to like this. As long as his knees hold up, this is a player that's very, very good against the run. That's what Detroit needs him to do. He also has a little bit of pass rush. I really like him in that nose tackle role for Detroit, and I think he fits that defensive line well. They got Kyle Vanden Bosch, and they really have improved this defensive line. So I do think that Ndamukong Suh was an excellent pick at number 2, and they had to feel great getting him there. Also in the first, they traded back in and got Jahvid Best, running back out of Cal. Really like this pick. Jahvid Best was someone I was a little bit up and down on, but he might be the most NFL-ready running back in this draft, right ahead of C.J. Spiller. Jahvid Best is explosive. He also has very good vision, knows how to find the hole, and he gets there very quickly. Then he moves outside and uses elite speed to get away from defenders. He's not going to run guys over, but he's pretty elusive. The big question with him is injury issues. He's had concussion issues, multiple concussion issues. So as long as he holds up in that sense, I think he is a playmaking threat for Detroit, and I think he is a player that you really have to like. You really have to like what he's going to do, because Kevin Smith had the injury problems. Jahvid Best going to come in and probably be the instant starter at running back, and he'll get a lot of carries, a lot of passes thrown his way. Just such a great fit for this offense and something that they lack. I think it was fine to move up and grab him. And then in the third, they got Amari Spivey, cornerback out of Iowa. The cornerback safety tweener reminds me a bit of Jairus Byrd from Buffalo, who Buffalo got last year, coming out of a similar system. A guy that isn't a big playmaker, but he makes the most of opportunities. If you throw the ball towards him, he'll bat it down. If he has a position to get an interception, he'll get it. And he does everything really, really well. And so I'm not sure if he's a number 1 corner in the NFL. He doesn't quite have the speed, doesn't quite have the strength. But that being said, he can be a solid player, and he's going to work hard at it. And so I think it was a good pick for Detroit. Definitely a number 2 type of corner, and maybe they can look for a shutdown guy next year. And the fourth, then they got Jason Fox, offensive tackle from Miami. Finally addressing that offensive line. Jason Fox, your prototypical right tackle. Injury issues slowed him down late in his career, and so that's why he fell this far, but he is someone that can be an instant starter at right tackle. I think he can compete with Gauser Shirillis and maybe win that right tackle spot, move Shirillis inside a right guard. you instantly upgrade this whole offensive line. So I like the move. I like the pick. And I think maybe not this year, maybe in 2 years, Jason Fox can be a guy that starts for the Lions in that right tackle spot. In the 7th, they got Willie Young, a high upside defensive end, pass rush specialist, has all the physical tools you look for, doesn't quite have the head for it, doesn't quite have the technique for it. He's going to be a project to bring along, but a project that's well worth the effort. And then Mr. Irrelevant was Tim Toon, wide receiver out of Weber State. He's small, he's feisty, he's fast, he works hard. A lot of people pin him as kind of a Wes Welker type of player. That's how he plays. We'll see if he can reach that potential. Not many can, but I think Tim Toon at least can be a contributor on special teams, maybe even in the return game. Someone you can use to work out of the slot. Kind of a jack-of-all-trades type of guy. He can line up in the backfield, do a lot of different things. And so you watch the tape on him, and he looks good. He looks like a player that can play in the NFL. So I like that shot for Detroit. I give him an A. I know they didn't have a whole lot of picks. They traded it and upgraded in different places. So I do like this Detroit Lions draft. I think Jim Schwartz and company are continuing, Mayhew continuing to improve this team, and maybe it's not going to happen as fast as they want to. They're in a very difficult division against the Packers and the Vikings, and even the Bears are improving. So maybe they move up to 5 wins this year, and then 7, and then 9, and then we see what happens. So I think Lions, you may still be in for a little bit longer of a haul, but this is a draft that's going to do it. You got your face your franchise on offense last year, Matthew Stafford. This year you get it with Ndamukong Suh. Continue upgrading. They upgraded the offensive line next year, the secondary. This is a team that can do some damage. So I like that draft. Stay tuned for tomorrow when we keep going with the NFC.